Welcome back, friends, to our third episode of The Ethical Rebel in the Leadership Perspective. Now, we have been speaking in the previous episodes about the attributes of the ethical rebel. We are going to take up in the present one, 2 or 3 more attributes. The first and foremost that I would like to emphasize here, which is actually the attribute number 6 in the overall series, is that he has an excellent domain knowledge. So he's not a person who's jack of all trades, is a glib talker, and is just talking for the heck of it, as they say. He has deep domain knowledge, not only theoretical underpinnings and concepts, but also the practical aspects. So when he speaks and gives you something as an alternative, he has very deep grounding in the same. So therefore, rather than shutting him up, it is always good, especially in group meetings, to ask a few questions politely and ask the other team members to ask him those questions. Because if he is able to convince people at this initial stage, I think a lot of time and resources would be saved. So remember, an ethical rebel is not a person who's talking off the cuff. He's not a person who's just coming out with the random remarks. He has done his homework seriously, he knows what he's talking about, and excellent domain knowledge, theoretically, conceptually, and in practical implementation aspects. Another thing, and that is the point number 7, is that an ethical rebel, generally we say rebels, working underground, hush-hush manner, they are going to create a revolution, an air of intrigue. No, the ethical rebel is working very openly. He's airing his views formally and informally, very, very openly. He says, no, this is the wrong way you're doing. I would suggest go about in this manner. So when he says the same thing in person, same thing in private, same thing over official emails, and same thing on public forums. So therefore, you should understand to take his word seriously, and there is no element of intrigue. But what happens is that when he's so open about his views, some of the people, the gossip or whatever, he tends to be misquoted. He was saying such and such thing to such and such person at such place. And the best thing for the leader would be then to ask him in what context that was said and how he can harness those alternative proposals to implement the project that the team is on. So therefore, while his openness is a thing to be appreciated, sometimes it is this very openness that becomes a reason for impediments being injected and admitted to his smooth path. So that's point number 7. The point number 8 about an ethical rebel is his speed of execution is tremendous. What can happen is you're having a leadership meeting today and he says, sir, what is this? You are trying to have a cloud-based server and so many gigabytes to do this. This is 5 hours of programming. And I could use that code myself on my mobile and come out with a solution day after tomorrow. And sometimes you say, hey, please do it. And lo and behold, on day 2, he has a working version, a PowerPoint presentation, a beta version or alpha version, whatever there is in software technology and parlance, to be presented. So he is not merely saying things off the cuff. He is very, very quick to execute and at least put up a prototype so that he is able to convince what he genuinely feels is a more efficacious and more efficient way of doing things. So friends, to summarize in this episode, excellent domain knowledge, no air of intrigue, and quick and expeditious execution. Stay tuned while we'll return very shortly with our next episode. But in the meantime, do comment, share, subscribe. Some of your friends may find it useful. Stay tuned.